Hi there, it's me Dan. I'm just trying things, and what am I trying today? Well, it's about a month ago now, the Spiritbox track called Hurt You came out, and yeah, I've just not got around to it up until now, which is very silly because Spiritbox are great. They're certainly one of the more interesting and exciting metal bands to have come out in the last few years, to have really can start making a name for themselves in that time. A lot of very inventive sounds that they put out, and a lot of very technical, interesting kind of technique. And Courtney's a great vocalist. Um, so, without further ado, before I get my earphones tangled up, Hurt You by Spiritbox. Ouch. Well, this is deeply sinister. I feel like I should be watching this in the dark. That's super good though. I love it's just this dark figure in the hallway. It's like a kind of like a thematic link between all of the other relationships that we're seeing with the people. That face. That's such a sudden ending. That's such an interesting way to end a song as well, because like even if on the album that's meant to like run into something else, like you don't release the single on like that by accident. You don't, with the video and everything as well. Um, yeah, that's a really interesting song, with some very dark themes. Um, mm, the video likewise, like very well shot, a lot of really interesting ideas. I'm definitely gonna have a look at the lyrics and do a proper breakdown. Um, which I frankly should have been prepared to do in the first place because I know Spiritbox. Um, I should probably have known to expect something pretty dark in the video as well, because like, yeah, I mean they've had some of the most directly horror movie inspired videos, uh, and very very good ones. Um, yeah, I'm going to have a proper look at the lyrics, and I'll see you back here in a sec. Okay. Wow. All right. So we are failing in crisis mode. Mutually assured destruction. Love the proxy and burn the bones, so I smile in the snare of devotion. I hope you'll find what you're fighting for. I am happier when I hurt you. Your medicine is the coldest war. I am happier when I hurt you. So we are in a relationship here that is falling apart, but isn't gonna actually do it. We are failing in crisis mode, but it's a cold war with mutually assured destruction. So, in case you're not familiar with the terms, in the Cold War, mutually assured destruction was a term that described the fact that both sides had the power in their nuclear armament stockpiles to basically end the world each. So but it took a long time for, if you were gonna press the button for your weapons to reach the enemy, and going to be more than enough time for the enemy to press their button too, and so mutual destruction was assured. And so we've been in a relationship here that, though it is failing, though it is in crisis, no one is going to make a final move. It is just going to stay in this toxic, mutually toxic mess of relationship. And so I smile in the snare of devotion. There is a smile. It is, I feel, kind of a sick one. There is even devotion in a sense, in a viciously codependent way. But it is a snare of devotion. It is a trap. It is something that you are stuck in and that is harmful to you. I hope you find what you're fighting for oddly feels sincere in a way. It could be there, ironically, of not wanting the best for this person at all, but my feeling is that that is a sincere thing. You're fighting, and I hope that you find what you're fighting for, but I am happier when I hurt you. Your medicine with coldest war. I'm happy when I hurt you. Yeah. You just keep on building the tension. I want to escalate out of the stasis. but you just keep on building the tension. I want to escalate to the grave. So there is this tension building that apparently the other person is building the tension. You are building the tension. I want to escalate out of this stasis. So this person does kind of want out of this situation, but their only way they can think of is to keep escalating, is to get just ever more hostile, is the only way they can see to break this stasis. But you just keep on building the tension. I want to escalate into the grave. I mean, escalate typically means going up. So if you're escalating into the grave, then you must be in a pretty low place right now. But at the same time, the other, that's a secondary reading of it, so to the primary one, which is just that I just want to keep on building and getting more and more hostile and toxic until death do us part. I hope you find what you're fighting for. I am happy when I hurt you. Medicine's coldest war. I am happy when I hurt you. Hold me to the grave. That's where you carved my name. I hope you find what you're fighting for. I am happier when I hurt you. It's a great line. So hold me to the grave. Hold me to the grave. We could be in each other's arms until we die, and in another happier, more Romeo and Juliet romantic song. But you know that these two, if they're holding each other, they are the cause of each other going, and themselves going to the grave. And that's where you carved my name. And I love that line. So hold me to the grave, that's where you carved my name. Because you sort of had this image of, young lovers carving each other's names on a tree, or, if depending how young, on the desk at the high school or whatever. And there's that sort of, that imagery of young romance. But you carved my name on a grave. You made a tombstone for me. I hope you find what you're fighting for. I am happier when I hurt you. Preemptive, bitter end, perfect fit. Dysfunction. Again, this warlike imagery of preemptive, like a preemptive strike, to the bitter end. It's a perfect fit, because they're just as bad as each other, sounds like. This is my reading, by the way. It could be incorrect. It might not be the intention. It might be intended to be a more kind of one-sided abusive relationship, but I'm feeling this very kind of mutual here. Preemptive, bitter end, perfect fit, dysfunction, or you don't say. I have learned to love the embrace in this mutually assured destruction. It's the crux of the coldest war. See, that reminds me of as I said before in my Coraline video, there's that situation sometimes where, however harmful a relationship is to you, that harm, that toxicity, that abuse even can feel like home. It can just be like what you feel is right for you in a really dark way. Even people in those situations, whether they are mutual or or one-sided, often don't get out because they either don't feel that they deserve any better, or don't feel that they can have any better, and it just feels familiar and like the place that they should be in. It's not the place it should be in. If it is a harmful situation, and if it's also turning you harmful too, it's not the place you should be in, viewers. But it is great songwriting. It's the crux of the Coldest War. And then it returns. I hope you find what you're fighting for. I'm happy when I hurt you. Medicine's the Coldest War. I'm happy when I hurt you. The only part of this I'm conscious of not really figuring out is the medicine. It may be a small detail, or it may be a key to something that I'm really missing. But yeah, I'm happy when I hurt you, so hold me to the grave. That's where you carve my name. I hope you find what you're fighting for. I am happier when I hurt you. Yeah. Yeah. That's some really effective, emotive songwriting. It really does describe a relationship that really needs to stop. But you can't help feeling that it's just not. It feels like, because you know that this is one of those situations where you know that everyone around them hates this too. Like if this is everyone knows that this it is harmful. I feel like this kind of this backbiting and hurting each other, and we'll add this one other thing before I wrap this up. Having rewatched the video as well, whoever directed it does seem to have a slightly different interpretation. They do seem to have put a more one-sided spin on it, because each time you have the I hope you find what you're fighting for, it is one person, and then the other person sings the I am happy when I hurt you line. So they have interpreted it as that the song is kind of singing back and forth between the two people, which is interesting, and it's a valid reading. And I don't know how much input the band have on the video, but for me, the reference is to mutual destruction. That word crops up many times, and so unless I hear otherwise, I'm going to prefer my version. Which might be arrogant of me, but that's not to say that any other alternative is incorrect. Only that, yeah, I think my way still works too. Anyways, moving on. Yeah, so thanks for watching. It's been another kind of a rough one, but you know, analysing well-written metal songs be like that sometimes. Check out my Twitch, JD Tillengast, if you're interested, if watching other people play computer games is a thing that you enjoy. I upload the videos from that to my YouTube here as well, and you can find the link from those to my Twitch to join, and you can chat along while I play horror games on Fridays and non-violent games on Sundays. Other than that, well, I've had a good time with this song. It's really, really great. The album is out now. It's called Eternal Blue. And yeah, I'm going to download that and listen to that probably quite a bit in the near future. Have a good one, folks. And yeah, don't be in relationships like this one.